Here's the hard truth about fat loss. Most people don't fail because they don't care. They start with real hope. They clean out the kitchen. They buy healthier food. They sign up for the gym. They tell themselves, this time, I'm really going to do it. And for a while, it works. The first few days feel good, maybe even exciting, but then life starts pushing back. Work gets busy, sleep gets worse, stress builds up, the workouts feel harder, the meal plan starts feeling like a punishment. A few weeks later, motivation fades. A few months later, the weight starts creeping back. And after a while, many people end up right where they started. But that doesn't mean they are weak. It means the strategy was wrong. Most people try to lose fat by eating less, training harder, and forcing themselves to be more disciplined every single day. But the people who stay lean for years usually don't live like that. They don't depend on motivation. They don't suffer through extreme diets. They don't try to win every day with willpower alone. They build a system that helps them move more, eat better, sleep better, and make better choices without turning their life into a constant battle. Today, Hidden Health Science is going to break down those simple habits. And the best part is this: you can start with just one of them today. No extreme diet, no exhausting workout plan, no need to change your whole life overnight. The reason most people fail is not because they don't know what to do. Let's be honest. Most of us already know the basics. Eat more real food. Move more. Sleep better. Stop snacking so much on junk. Drink more water. Get some protein in. Go for a walk. We know these things. But knowing what to do and actually doing it for months or years are two very different things. A lot of people start with emotion. They step on the scale and don't like the number. They see a photo of themselves and feel uncomfortable. Or they watch a motivational video and suddenly feel ready to change everything. So they go all in. For a few days, they eat perfectly. They train hard. They say no to sweets. They feel proud. They feel like a new person. But then real life shows up. A stressful week at work, a bad night of sleep, a family problem, rainy weather, low energy, one missed workout, one bad meal, then another. And once the motivation is gone, the whole plan falls apart. That's why people who stay lean long-term don't build their life around feelings. They build it around habits. They don't wake up every morning asking, "Do I feel like doing this today?" They set up their day so the healthy choice becomes the easy choice. The first habit sounds a little strange at first. Some people who stay lean can actually eat more food than people who struggle with weight. But that does not mean they eat whatever they want all day. That is not the point. The real difference is this: their body burns more energy because their life has more movement built into it. Think of your body like a fire. A small fire does not need much wood. A bigger fire can burn through more. Your body works in a similar way. When you move more during the day, your body uses more energy. And I am not just talking about gym workouts. I am talking about walking more, taking the stairs, standing up more often, doing chores, carrying groceries, walking after meals, moving around, instead of sitting for hours without noticing it. Those little things may not feel like much in the moment, but they add up. A lot of people think fat loss only happens during that 1 hour at the gym. But the truth is, your body is living the other 23 hours too. You can work out for 45 minutes and still spend the rest of the day almost completely still. And when that happens, your body is still living like a low-movement body. People who stay lean long-term usually do not just exercise. They live in a way that keeps them moving. You do not need to make this complicated. Start with walking. A good goal for many people is around 8,000 to 10,000 steps a day. But if you are only getting 3,000 steps right now, do not jump straight to 10,000 and burn yourself out. Build up slowly. Add a 10-minute walk after a meal. Stand up once every hour if you sit a lot for work. Take the stairs when it makes sense. Park a little farther away. Walk while you are on the phone. None of this looks dramatic. Nobody is going to clap because you walked around the block. But that is exactly why it works. It is simple enough to repeat. The goal is not just to eat less food. The goal is to build a body that uses more energy through the day. A body that handles food better because it is not sitting still all the time. And once movement becomes normal, it stops feeling like punishment. You are not forcing yourself through some brutal plan. You are just becoming a more active person, one small choice at a time. The second habit is tracking your progress. I know, it does not sound exciting, but it matters more than most people think. A lot of people go by how they feel. They feel like they are eating pretty healthy. They feel like they are moving enough. They feel like their weight is probably fine. But feelings can be tricky. You can feel like you barely ate anything, but still snack more than you realize. You can feel like you were active all day, but your step count might tell a different story. That is why tracking helps. And no, this does not mean you have to weigh every piece of food for the rest of your life. It does not mean you need to stare at the scale every morning and let that number control your mood. That is not healthy either. Tracking just gives you a clear signal. It helps you see what is actually happening instead of guessing. Think about driving on a long road trip. You do not stare at the gas gauge every second, but you do check it once in a while. Because if you never look, you may not realize you are running low until it is too late. Your body works the same way. If you check in regularly, you can make small changes early. You do not have to panic. You do not have to start over. You just adjust. You only need one or two things to track. Keep it simple. Some people weigh themselves a few times a week. Some track their daily steps. Some measure their waist. Some pay attention to how their jeans fit. Some just make sure they get enough protein with each meal. The method is not the most important part. The real key is doing it consistently, because when you notice a small change early, you can fix it with a small change. Maybe you walk a little more. Maybe you tighten up your snacks. Maybe you get back to better sleep. But if you ignore it for months, a small problem can become a big one. Gaining a couple of pounds is not a disaster if you catch it early. That is normal. Life happens. But if you stop paying attention completely, those couple of pounds can slowly turn into 10 or 15 before you even realize it. Tracking keeps you honest. Not in a harsh way, in a helpful way. It takes you out of guessing and brings you back to reality. And that is where better choices become a lot easier. If there is one habit people ignore the most, it is sleep. And I get it. When life gets busy, sleep is usually the first thing we cut. We stay up late to finish work. We scroll on our phones. We tell ourselves, I'll be fine tomorrow. But when it comes to staying lean, poor sleep does a lot more than make you tired. It changes how hungry you feel. It makes cravings stronger. It makes sugary foods and greasy foods harder to resist. And honestly, it makes your brain worse at saying no. That is why a bad night of sleep can turn into a bad day of eating. You may start the day with good intentions, but by the afternoon, you feel drained. You want something quick, something salty, something sweet, something that gives you comfort fast. Now imagine two people doing the same diet and the same workouts. One sleeps 7 to 9 hours most nights. The other keeps cutting sleep short. Who is going to have an easier time staying lean? Most of us already know the answer. The person who sleeps better has a huge advantage. Their body recovers better. Their mood is steadier. Their workouts feel better. And their food choices are easier to control. Sleep may not feel exciting, but it quietly affects almost everything. You do not have to fix your whole sleep routine overnight. Start with one small thing. Try going to bed and waking up around the same time most days. Cut back on caffeine later in the day. Turn down bright screens before bed. Keep your room cool, dark, and quiet if you can. And if your phone keeps you up, move it away from the bed. That one change can help more than people think. If you usually eat a big heavy meal late at night, try eating a little earlier. You do not have to be perfect. Just make sleep easier for your body. Because better sleep is not just about feeling rested. It helps you feel less hungry. It helps you handle cravings better. It helps your body recover from workouts. And when you are losing fat, it can help you protect more muscle. That is why so many coaches take sleep seriously. Not because it is trendy, not because it sounds impressive, but because it works in the background every single day. When sleep gets better, everything else gets a little easier. A lot of people think staying lean means eating less all the time, but that is not really how lean people live long term. Most of them are not starving themselves. They are not eating plain salads all day, and they are not walking around miserable, pretending they do not like normal food. They still enjoy meals. They still go out to eat. They still have dessert sometimes. The difference is what they do most of the time. Most of their meals are built around better quality food. Protein usually comes first, then fruits and vegetables, then good carbs and healthy fats. That sounds simple, but it makes a big difference. Protein helps you stay full longer. It also helps protect your muscle, especially when you are trying to lose fat. Fruits and vegetables add volume to your meals. You can eat a good amount of food without loading up on too many calories. Good carbs give you steadier energy. Things like oats, potatoes, rice, beans, or whole grains can help you feel satisfied instead of crashing and hunting for snacks an hour later. And healthy fats, in the right amount, can make meals feel more complete. The point is not to eat perfectly. The point is to build meals that help you instead of fighting you. Because if you are hungry all day, sooner or later, willpower runs out. People who stay lean do not win because they are stronger than hunger. They win because they build meals that make hunger easier to handle. Here is a simple way to look at your plate. First, ask yourself, where is my protein? That could be eggs, fish, chicken, lean meat, Greek yogurt, beans, tofu, or whatever protein fits your life. Next, add some fruits or vegetables. They help fill you up. They bring in fiber, and they make the meal feel bigger without making it too heavy. Then choose a good carb. That could be oatmeal, potatoes, rice, beans, whole grains, or another carb that works well for you. And last, add a little healthy fat if the meal needs it. Not a huge amount, just enough to make the meal satisfying. When you build meals this way, you do not have to rely on willpower so much. You feel fuller, your energy feels more steady, and you are less likely to keep digging through the pantry looking for something else. That is the real goal. Not perfect eating, repeatable eating. One perfect meal will not change your body, but enough good meals, repeated again and again, can absolutely change the direction of your health. Motivation always fades. That is just the truth. Nobody feels motivated every single day. Not athletes, not fitness coaches, not even people who have stayed lean for years. They have tired days too. They have stressful weeks. They have days when they do not feel like cooking, walking, or working out. The difference is, they do not wait for motivation to show up. They build a system. They walk at the same time most days. They buy the same healthy foods every week. They keep easy protein options in the fridge. They plan workouts before the day gets too busy. They make the good choice easier to do. That matters more than people think. Because if every meal feels like a decision, you will get tired. If every workout feels like a debate, you will skip more often. If every night you have to fight yourself to go to bed, sooner or later, you will lose that fight. A good system removes some of that pressure. It helps you do the right thing even on average days. Not perfect days, average days. Think about brushing your teeth. You do not wake up and ask, "Do I feel motivated to brush my teeth today?" You just do it because it is part of your life. That is what healthy habits should become over time. Not a big dramatic event. Just something you do because that is the kind of person you are becoming. But even a good system needs something underneath it. It needs a reason. A lot of people start with surface goals. They say, "I want to lose 20 pounds," or "I want a flatter stomach," or "I want to fit into my old clothes again." And there is nothing wrong with that. Those goals can get you started, but they may not be strong enough to carry you for the long run. Because after a while, the excitement wears off. The scale slows down. Life gets busy. And that old goal may not feel powerful anymore. People who stay lean for years usually go deeper. They do not just ask, "What do I want to lose?" They ask, "Who do I want to become?" Maybe you want to be the person who has energy to play with your kids. Maybe you want to stay strong as you get older. Maybe you want to walk into a room and feel comfortable in your own body. Maybe you just want to stop feeling like your health is slipping away from you. That kind of reason hits different. It makes the daily habits feel less like punishment. You are not just trying to lose weight. You are becoming someone who takes care of yourself. And when that identity starts to feel real, staying consistent becomes a lot easier. One habit can help, but one habit by itself usually is not enough to carry you for years. That is where a lot of people get stuck. They pick one thing and put all their hope into it. They start walking more, but their sleep is still terrible. They eat better for a while, but they barely move during the day. They track everything, but they have no real routine, so every day feels like a fight. Long-term results usually come from stacking a few simple habits together. Walking more helps control hunger. Better sleep makes it easier to choose better food. Protein-rich meals help you feel full longer. Tracking helps you catch problems early, and your deeper reason keeps you going when motivation drops. It is like building a house. A roof by itself will not protect you. Walls without a strong foundation will not last. And a foundation alone is not a home. Your health works the same way. You need pieces that support each other. People who stay lean long-term are not usually chasing one secret trick. They are not depending on one perfect workout or one magic meal plan. They are doing several simple things over and over until those things start working together. That is when staying lean starts to feel less like a fight and more like a lifestyle. The biggest lesson is this: there is no perfect plan for everybody. Some people do well with lower carbs. Some like lower fat. Some use intermittent fasting. Some try keto. Some just eat smaller portions and walk more. A lot of methods can work, but none of them matter if you cannot stick with them. So the real question is not, what is the fastest way to lose fat? The better question is, what can I still see myself doing a year from now? Because lasting results do not come from one extreme month. They come from a lifestyle you can repeat during normal life. Busy weeks, stressful weeks, holidays, travel, bad sleep, low motivation, all of it. That is why perfection is overrated. Missing one workout does not ruin your progress. One messy meal does not make you a failure. One bad night of sleep does not erase everything. What matters is the pattern. What are you doing most of the time? That is what shapes your body. That is what shapes your health. And over time, that is what shapes the kind of person you become. You do not need a perfect plan. You need a plan you can keep coming back to. So, why do so many people struggle to stay lean long term? It is not because they are lazy. It is not because they are hopeless. And it is not because they are missing some secret diet that everyone else knows. Most of the time, they are trying to win with motivation. But motivation is not enough. The people who stay lean for years usually do not do anything magical. They just do simple things more consistently than most people. They move more during the day. They pay attention to their progress. They protect their sleep. They build better meals. They set up systems that make healthy choices easier. And they connect those habits to a reason that actually matters to them. That is what changes everything. So if you want to start, do not try to fix your whole life today. Pick one habit, just one. Maybe you start walking 8,000 steps a day. Maybe you go to bed 30 minutes earlier. Maybe you add more protein to breakfast. Maybe you start tracking your weight once or twice a week. Keep it small, keep it realistic, then repeat it until it feels normal. That is how real change happens. Not all at once, not through punishment, but one honest habit at a time. If this video helped you, subscribe to Hidden Organ Secrets, leave a comment, and tell me which habit you are going to start with today. And share this with someone who needs a more realistic way to lose fat and keep it off.